What's the biggest waste of money you've ever seen people spend on? A friend inherited $250,000 USD when his grandmother died. He bought a boat, a Corvette, and a bunch of other stupid crap. He doesn't have any of it anymore. Had he bought a house, he'd have made a wise investment. Nope, just bought stupid stuff. Boats are probably the single worst investment as an asset. They depreciate even harder than cars, and cost a shitload more to just exist doing nothing. Brand name clothes for their infant or toddler. I was on Marketplace a few weeks back, and someone posted a pair of ratty-ass toddler shoes for $75. I thought, who is going to pay that for that condition? So many people were commenting on it. I googled the brand, Golden Goose, and they go for $250 a pair, brand new. I just cannot wrap my head around dropping $250 on a pair of shoes that my kid is gonna grow out of in 6 months. Bananas. A guy I worked with had a long-distance relationship with this girl he'd yet to meet in person. Then suddenly she tells him she can fly and meet him in a month. At the time, he lived in the basement of his folks' place. Not something he had declared earlier in their chats. In a panic, he got a new apartment. Then he went to one of those furniture rental places and rented an entire apartment's worth of furniture. Couch, tables, diner set, bedroom suite, TV, etc. The whole effing apartment was rental furniture, which, if you don't know, gets expensive really quickly. So, after all this, the girl finally shows up. They go to his apartment, and that's when she tells him that they should break up. She didn't want to do it over text and without meeting him, at least once. She thought it wouldn't be fair to him. She stayed one night, and got on the plane the next day. Apparently, her stop in our city was just an extended layover, as she was heading to Europe to tour with friends. She slept in the rental bed, and he slept on the rental couch. Then next day, he drove her to the airport in his rental car. I don't know how many thousands he dropped for that one breakup date, but man, what a waste. Edits. A couple of things to clarify some common questions. 1. Why not Airbnb? This was 2004 or 2005. Airbnb didn't exist. 2. Why not a hotel? He had told her that he had his own place for quite a while. Something like a year or so. A hotel wouldn't have cut it. 3. Why not a furnished apartment? They're pretty rare in our city, and the ones that do exist are for seniors or 50 plus. 4. Why did she fly there? Just to break up with him? She did, and she didn't on this one. The way he told it is that she was on her way to Europe to do a bus tour with friends, and the route she took with her flights to get there brought her through our city. So, she arranged an extended layover so she could meet him and break the news gently, instead of doing it by text or email. 5. Why did she get the bed and he got the couch? What a loser. Not true. She offered to take the couch, but he refused. My co-worker was really tall too, like 6 feet 8 inches tall. So, he painted the story of his legs being draped over the armrest. She really insisted he took the bed, but he told us he felt chivalrous to take the couch instead. I'm into photography, and some people will immediately blow money on the most expensive gear, thinking it'll make them instantly amazing. They either get discouraged, or just realize they're not that into photography. Thankfully, it ultimately means barely used equipment being sold at a discount online. I think this phrase relates to any hobby or profession with potential for massive costs on equipment. All the gear, no idea. A lot of people marginally interested in a hobby will go all out, buying top-end equipment, then get disheartened when it doesn't make them immediately amazing at what they're interested in. I'm a self-taught hobbyist guitarist, and the best piece of advice I ever got from an older friend, who also self-taught, was to make shit equipment sound amazing, then upgrade. Get good at the basics, then the cool kit will add to your skills. Cleanses that literally just make you shit and make you think you're losing weight. Eat some fiber and exercise. This can literally be applied to a lot of fitness fads. So tired of telling fat friends how to effectively and consistently lose weight and get healthier, only to see them blow money on some coal and broom, which in itself is hilarious, because it's identical to Metamucil. DoorDash as a regular way to eat. There's a dude in my apartment building who orders from Domino's Pizza all the time. The Domino's is literally across the street, and he isn't disabled or anything. He's just too lazy to literally walk across the street to get his order and save a delivery fee and a tip. Like, what the hell? We had a security guard at my place of business who was horribly lazy. They never ever got out of their vehicle. I watched this person start up their vehicle, drive about 30 feet forward, before they got out of the vehicle, so they could go inside to the bathroom. All because it was a little bit shorter of a walk. That is ridiculous. Didn't need to see it, I did it myself. When I was at university, I spent around £1,000 on Overwatch loot boxes, and now, the Overwatch servers are offline. I have no idea what I was thinking. I met a couple of people who are obsessed with a Genshin Impact game app, don't remember the exact name, though. But they had all spent thousands of dollars on buying pulls to get more characters. I thought they were trolling me, especially when one guy said he was nearly at 5k spent on it. Then I saw him spend over $200 in one sitting, just because he couldn't get the new character. I have spent about $9,000 in my life on mobile gaming. Just thinking back on it makes you sick to your stomach. It starts out innocent. Oh, this banner is over tonight, and I have better odds of getting something I want if I do a 10 spin. I can't grind for currency, and only need to spend $2 to get what I need. And then the worst thing that can happen happens. You get lucky. You get what you want. So, now your brain has accepted it is okay. Even if next time you fail, you still remember the beauty of success. So, you start spending more money. Eventually, something comes up and you start doing math. Oh, I can pay $3 for 5 meta currency, or, if I spend $80 I can max it out for 210 meta currency. If I am spending money already, then I might as well get the most bang for my buck. Time goes on, and you spend tons of time playing the game. Why not spend $80 every month? I don't play typical games anymore, I will just plan on spending the money here to support them. Then 2 banners come up in a month. I can afford a second purchase this month. Then someone you really like is on banner, and you have bad luck, and you can't stop pulling, because you get caught up in the momentum. $200 is gone, or $300, or even as $800. And then you are in too deep, and money starts losing value. You have already effed yourself, why not keep spending? If you are lucky like me, you snap out of it, eventually. Gotta be gambling, and I'm a gambler myself. If you go to the casino once a month, with $200 to lose to have fun for an evening, more power to you. But I see so many people betting thousands, who don't even know how to play the games properly. Blows my mind. I used to take an annual Memorial Day weekend trip to a place that had a casino nearby. Throughout the year, I'd put $10 in a savings account every week, and then go to the casino with $500, I didn't mind losing. You know, if my system for roulette happened to not work that time, as usual. My 6th year doing it, I got to my car in the hotel parking lot, ready to go. And I realized, I have $500 cash in my pocket right now, and in 2 hours, I'll probably have zero. Actually, zero minus a few hundred on my credit card balance at the time. I went back to the hotel restaurant, and had a fantastic dinner, and then had $430 cash to go put back in my bank on Tuesday, and zero out the card. The endorphins on that zero balance felt better than the ones I'd get at the casino. That's the new high to chase. Haven't had the itch to gamble since. Overpriced souvenirs. I live in Paris, and the way tourists go about buying low-quality souvenirs at crazy prices is just unbelievable. See, I might buy a magnet that says the place I went to, but the real souvenir? A rock I stole. Goes on my rock display, with a label of where I took it from. Absolutely monetarily worthless, but I think they're awesome. I steal rocks from places, all the time. When I was little, my uncle died. It was the hospital's fault, and my aunt sued them. She won a lot of money, and proceeded to spend it on whatever impulse buy she saw. She bought a mansion. Bought a fleet of 4-wheelers. Motorcycles. New car and truck. An in-ground pool, with a huge water slide. She bought Apple computers for every room in the house, even the kitchen. Bought a photography studio, with tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Overnight, she went from renting an apartment to living like some sort of celebrity. Going over to her house as a kid was awesome, but within like 2 years, she lost it all, and was right back where she started, renting an apartment in a not-so-great part of town. Marine is full of power yachts. They never go out, and you must constantly pay to have the boat maintained. Because it's sitting in a gross giant bathtub of algae, that is fueled by great disgusting clouds of human shit, floating around the boats. I knew a girl, who didn't own a car or a house, but she had €3,000 Chanel boots, a few Gucci and Chanel purses, and other expensive clothes, while she was making probably €1,500 to €2,000 per month. I'd say, designer clothes and purses, are one of the most useless things one can buy. This is actually the exact type of customer that designer brands target. I watched a video, a couple months ago, about how designer brands actually actively target poor or lower middle class people, because they're typically the ones who are financially illiterate enough to spend thousands on something a $50 Target bag does just as well as desperate to climb the social ladder and seek a higher socioeconomic status, being directed by companies to do that through purchasing nice stuff. Once you start paying attention to America's relationship with debt and consumerism, you start to realize that the price of one's stuff rarely dictates their financial status. Someone driving a 2006 Camry that's paid off probably has more in the bank than someone driving a financed 2024 BMW. Same with designer clothes and accessories. Just look at the average purchaser of Gucci slides. OnlyFans. I just don't understand why anyone pays for something they can easily get for free with just a simple search. It makes no sense at all to me. They are the modern strip clubs. Back in the day, I would see guys tip girls hundreds of dollars a night, several nights a week, for nothing but some fake affection. There was this homeless woman I met before, begging at an intersection. I've talked and given her money before. A few times when we met, she said she bought a purse that was over $100, saying she wanted to buy something nice for herself. Like, you're homeless and living behind a closed-down restaurant, and when you finally have enough saved up, you go buy a effing purse. Stop talking to her. Ages ago. Back when cell phones become available to the public, there was a sticker called an internal signal booster you could put on the battery. They ran anywhere from $20 to $45. They did not do a single thing, but were extremely popular. Young couple, living in a camping trailer in his dad's driveway. No money. No jobs. She gets a few $1,000s from grandma when she dies, and they promptly go buy a horse. Neither have ever owned a horse. Dad's house is not remotely zoned for a horse. They can't afford to feed the animal. But hey, they own a horse. Scams. People spend money on literally nothing, because they think a Nigerian prince will send them a lot of money if they send him some money first. My sister's neighbor has spent thousands of dollars thinking she will hit some payday after she sends enough money. It's tragic, because there is no one convincing her to stop sending money. I don't know how some parents buy their teenagers those $200 sneakers. I have a teen boy who's just reached the brand pressure in school. I told him, if he wants expensive items like that, then use your money to buy. He has decided it's not worth it. Go figure. We buy him nice good quality clothes, designed to last. We happen to wear the same size now, so when he outgrows, it'll pass on to me. Not gonna spend $1 just to advertise for an overpriced brand. Trading cards, but it's still very fun to open them. I will never understand trading card valuation. It always blows my mind that some old baseball card that came in a pack of cigarettes is worth $10,000, but some really cool pre-Columbian artifact might be worth $600 on Antiques Roadshow. I would understand a game-worn jersey, something like that, more than a freaking printed card that's value is highly dependent on how straight they made the original print. Baseball people are crazy. I've seen people spend ridiculous amounts on luxury items they never actually use. Like, fancy gym memberships, or gadgets that just gather dust. But to each their own. What seems like a waste to one person might bring joy or satisfaction to someone else. In the end, it's all about personal priorities and what makes you happy. Alcohol. I know that's America's favorite pastime, but going through a half or full bottle of whiskey a night is always a sign that something needs to change. And when you do make that change, that's when the buyer's remorse kicks in. MLMs, specifically Herbalife. I know a couple that blew thousands of dollars flying out to conferences across the US, and they eventually wasted their 401ks to finance a smoothie shop that nobody visited, since it was in a bad location and a recruiting center for Herbalife. in reality. Worst of all, the smoothies weren't even good. Weddings. Right at the point in your life when you need a down payment for a house, let's spend $20,000 to $70,000 on a 6-hour party. One of, if not, the dumbest social practice currently going on in our society. Makes me sick to think about. When I was a lonely guy in my 20s, early 2000s, I spent $1,000 or so on a matchmaking service. This was before internet dating took off. I went into an office, got about 6 pictures taken, was sent pics of a few women in the mail, then never heard back. Watch out there, kids. People are happy to profit off of your insecurities. Those $800 high school rings are definitely up there. Sure, some scams are worth more money, but almost $1,000 for a high school student is an insane amount for something you shouldn't really be wearing when you hit 20. Oh God, where do I start? Buying disposable dinnerware or flatware or cups when you don't have a disposable income. Coffee shop coffee, that is typically the most garbage beans available, sold to you at the highest price possible. Fast fashion. Brand name everything. Not reading labels to find cheaper options. Keeping up with the Joneses, even though they don't know or care who you are, and you'll be dead like everyone else one day, and none of it will even matter. Designer anything. Gemstone jewelry, especially diamonds, which were marketed to be way more than what they really are. They're not really valuable, y'all. It's a scam.